Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Auphanim. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you could, please click the like button, turn it into a rocket, and send it to the moon. Also, don't forget to check out those Auphanim NFTs. They are very rare, and I'd like you to have one. They're built on Algorand, the greenest NFT blockchain out there, and the transaction fees are almost non-existent. So we're going to begin here with a tweet from Jordan E, and it goes as such. It's about Stellar. Excited to ramp this program up to support the marketing efforts of companies building on @Stellar.org. Then there's a little blurb here underneath that tweet. It says marketing grants program. SDF offers marketing grants to support the growth and user acquisition efforts of projects built on Stellar. This is what we need. This is what we want. I would like to see more advertisement across the board. I like to see more promotion of this grants program to support growth and user acquisition so that there can be more companies coming to Stellar. They already said they plan to increase on that and advance at an exponential rate in 2022. It's just a matter of waiting to see if they can actually execute on that. I know how difficult it can be with the world's economies going a certain way. And I mean, there's so many things going on, but we're going to wait and see how that progresses. But as of right now, everything is looking very, very good. Yes, advertise as much as possible, in my humble opinion. And I say that taking into account the lack of regulatory clarity and how that could hold large business institutions back from wanting to use something that they're not fully sure if they are going to be legally able to use, right? There's no regulatory clarity. So I understand there's a certain limitation, but based upon that limitation, go to the max. Go to the max of that limitation. That's my humble opinion. And I would love to see more marketing. It's going to bring more eyes to the Stellar product. It will bring more people in to utilize that particular product, that particular protocol. More small businesses, more large businesses, and the more capital that's flowing across Stellar, obviously that affects the price of Stellar, which is what you and I definitely want. We definitely want that. So this is looking very, very good. Marketing support area. So if you click on that little tweet there is a section here on stellar.org/foundation/marketing grants, which is titled Marketing Support Areas. And here you have it. Topics of interest include, but are not limited to, paid digital media, Facebook, Google AdWords display. We want all of that. We definitely want Google. They have so many eyes on them, so many people using their products. We definitely want to increase on that. That would be great. Facebook also, they're doing the metaverse. We want into the metaverse. We got to get Stellar deep into that metaverse. I'd like to hear more about projects that are being built within the metaverse on Stellar, sort of like what Zilliqa is doing, in my humble opinion. Just my humble opinion. There's so many people out there frustrated with Zilliqa, and I know because that price consolidated forever, and then it only went down. But that was before. That was before they started building the Metropolis, and they have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm just keeping my own eye on something like that. But that's what I would like to see done with Stellar. Let's get a Metropolis-like place built on Stellar. We need to get deep in that metaverse and take a piece of that money. I would like a piece of that money. I know you would too. So yeah, we definitely want some sort of media advertising going on with Facebook, with the metaverse. Second bullet point, offline marketing activities and events. You definitely want to increase on that. You see how Algorand is everywhere. They're hosting events everywhere. They have their own Formula One car with Algorand on the nose of the car. They're doing a wonderful job. I'd like to see something like that happening with Stellar, okay? Algorand Foundation is an amazing foundation. They're going to do well. I want to see Stellar, who's already doing an amazing job, by the way, but I'd like to see Stellar step it up a little bit there. So in 2022, we'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes. PR and communication support. Next bullet point, in-app incentives such as new customer bonuses, referrals, etc. That's very good. That's a very good area to build upon. Last bullet point, external resources such as marketing agencies, tools, and services. That's very interesting. So these are all very good developments, and I think 2022 is going to be a very, very good year for Stellar, in my humble opinion. They're doing a great job. Their outlook is very, very, very ambitious. They're very fired up to do a good job, and that's going to be very, very good in the future. How many times did I just say very, very good? Anyway, the future's looking bright. Let's continue on here. So we have more news involving Stellar. They're doing a lot right now. Before, I was asking for them to step up, and now this week they're doing a lot of things, making a lot of progress. So we have a tweet here from Wire, SendWire, and it goes as such. Our integration with @Stellar.org enables our partners to utilize anchors on Stellar Network as local fiat on and off ramps. Users can now seamlessly move seamlessly from currencies such as ARS and BRL to their desired cryptocurrency and back to their local fiat in seconds, making it easy. Okay, so then we scroll down a little bit here and we have a little bit more. Click on that link and it takes us over here to sendwire.com. Wire announces new integration with Stellar to power seamless cryptocurrency transactions in Latin America. We were talking about this the other day. And I said how Algorand is planting roots and dominating in Latin America. And I said how Stellar's also in Latin America, planting roots and attempting to dominate in Latin America. Blockchain is going to dominate Latin America as a burgeoning economy. It's going to be growing exponentially over the next 10 to 15 years. That's what we want. We definitely do, because as their money grows, it flows into the blockchains. Algorand, Stellar, Cello. You got XRP in there as well. I forgot. Let me not forget XRP. And so it's going, the more capital that's flowing into these particular protocol, the higher those prices can go. So we definitely want that. This is very good. Let's continue on here. So today, Wire, a leading cryptocurrency compliance infrastructure provider, is announcing an integration with the Stellar network to effectively onboard local Brazilian and Argentinian currencies into digital assets. Through the integration, Wire is growing functionality in Latin America and allowing developers and businesses looking to leverage cryptocurrency transactions to easily expand into new regions and accept new forms of payment. While exchanging various global currencies into cryptocurrency has been historically challenging, that's correct. Latin America boasts a strong cryptocurrency infrastructure. Like I said before, of course, Algorand's down there doing amazing things. And as you can see now here, Stellar is down there as well. Blockchain has a strong presence in Latin America, and everything's becoming streamlined, or sheared up rather, very, very rapidly. This is very, very good developments, okay? And this is why, just one more reason why the banking coins are such solid long holes into the future. Because of what they're doing, they're literally setting up the new financial system right before your eyes. Latin America, Africa, the continent of Africa, they're doing a wonderful job there. Europe, man, blockchain, the banking coins are everywhere, dominating quietly, very quietly, but they are dominating. Wire will work with Settle, a digital asset settlement network, and a Stellar anchor. We were just talking about anchors. Anchors are important. See how that word keeps popping up now? Wire will work with Settle, a digital asset settlement network, and Stellar anchor to provide closer integrations within the Latin American cryptocurrency infrastructure. Mi gente. The Settle network provides the infrastructure needed to process cross-border transactions, payments, and digital assets. So very, very good developments here. Everything's looking good so far. Man, Stellar is taking off with their activity. They're taking off like a rocket. For lack of a better words. But this is very exciting, very, very good news here. Okay, so then we have a little bit from the Vechain Foundation, and they just put out their financial report for 2021 overview. All right, so here we have it. We'll scroll down to the balance sheet of 2021, and let's read here. The balance sheet is composed of crypto assets, including basic crypto assets, BTC/ETH, as well as stable coins acquired during our ICO in 2017, as well as asset management operations. Vechain Thor's native crypto asset reserves, VET, are controlled by the Vechain Foundation and noted in their fiat equivalent value calculated by the price shown on coinmarketcap.com. Now, everyone who has been following this channel for some time knows that one of the very few non-banking coins that I believe in is Vechain. They are a traceability protocol. They are tracking and tracing everything. So you go to Vechain when you want to know how many bottles of milk came off of this farm, when was it dated, where was the farm located. I mean, they track everything. They're doing a great job. They're an enterprise blockchain. I think Vechain has a very, very bright future, in my humble opinion. At the prices that is at right now, it's a steal. It's a steal. So I like to keep my eye on Vechain. It's something I'm absolutely confident in as a non-banking coin, because it's also a utility coin. Keep that in mind. And it's a utility that people are literally going to need, especially with the redacted. We're just going to say that the redacted happening around the world. People are definitely going to want to know where things came from, when it came from there, and who was handling what. So Vechain has a very bright future, in my humble opinion. So let's continue on here. The balance at the start of 2021 was $343,827,171. The balance at the end of 2021, get this, this is significant, $1,373,691,155. That's a significant increase all in 1 year. Look at what Vechain has been able to do in 1 year. Can you imagine over the next 3 to 5 years? Due to the value of VET having increased around 5 times during the period of 2021, the total value on the balance sheet has increased approximately 4 times compared to the previous year. So that's very, very good news. I'm very, very happy to hear that as a believer and holder of Vechain. Okay, so let's continue on. So then we have a little tweet here from Hedera. Hedera Hbar is going to dominate. Oh man, when Hedera goes parabolic, it's my humble opinion, it's one of the banking coins that can go parabolic the highest and the fastest. If you see how it moves just off of retail buying into Hedera and these fluctuations, it has good volatility just off of retail. Imagine when large business institutions are utilizing the protocol. Imagine if it lands a CBDC. We have MTech doing a great job pushing it as a CBDC everywhere around the world. If Hedera ever lands a CBDC or is able to set up infrastructure for CBDC, it's going to go insanely parabolic. So we have a little tweet here. What's better about smart contracts on Hedera? Number one, they're insanely fast. Ethereum, they're loading up the weapons. I'm going to predict shots fired. Ethereum has 15 million gas in an entire block. Hedera has 15 million gas per second. Mind blown. This is exactly why I was saying before that if you like Ethereum as your CBDC via consensus, you're going to love Hbar. You're going to love Hedera. And this is why I see in the future, it's just my humble opinion, I could be completely wrong. This is why I see in the future that I think there's 7 banks building their CBDC or testing their CBDC on consensus, which is Ethereum. I envision them switching over to Hedera, in my humble opinion, especially if they take any meetings with MTech, they're going to switch. The way MTech is going to explain everything to them. And when they see how efficient Hedera is, how secure they are with moving data back and forth, important hefty data, by the way, back and forth. When they see how low those transaction fees are, I envision them switching from consensus Ethereum over to Hedera. I think they could take a lot of those Ethereum markets. And that's not even including how Hedera could absolutely dominate when it comes to taking a large portion of the smart contract utilizers from Ethereum and bringing them over to Hedera. Keep in mind, Hedera Hbar, they said that they're going to, the Hedera Foundation said that they're going to be advertising more than ever. And not only that, they just open sourced their particular code. So there is a lot happening. 2022 is going to be interesting. I think 2022 is going to be an interesting year for Hbar, but 2023 is going to be even more interesting. And there's reasons I say that, but we'll get into that at another time. Let's continue on here. And we have a tweet from Algorand Foundation. Algorand has been doing an amazing job. Let's just go over a few things that make that put Algorand in an amazing and dominating position right now as far as being one of the banking coins. And yes, I believe their price is going to skyrocket because of, have you seen what they've done within 2021? How it was at 51 cents, 56 cents. Then it took a little bit of a dip, I think down to 46, 49 cents. Then it went up to $1.18. You saw where the price went, right? And that was just off of retail. That was only off of retail. Imagine when you have governments now using Algorand for payroll, using Algorand for infrastructure, using Algorand for central bank digital currencies. You had Silvio Macali had a meeting with two presidents at the end of 2021. Two presidents. That's unbelievable. They have the respect of MIT and the Fed. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. They have the respect of MIT and the Fed because Silvio Macali is of MIT. He has deep MIT connections. All right. They have the Algorand Accelerator in Europe. Algorand is doing things in Africa, on the African continent. Algorand is setting itself up for absolute domination. Also, let's take into account, they have one of the best marketing heads in Kelly Callahan. Okay, go follow Kelly Callahan on Twitter. Kelly Callahan is doing an amazing job at marketing Algorand. Not only that, Kelly Callahan has had a great hand in building one of the best, and I say this in all sincerity, one of the absolute most supportive and best blockchain communities. They support Algorand no matter what. So, believe me when I tell you, Algorand, where it is now, you haven't seen anything yet. The potentiality of Algorand is past the sky. I cannot say sky's the limit when it comes to Algorand. You guys know I love Algo. You know I love Algorand, all right? Also, my NFTs are built on Algorand, the greenest blockchain on Earth. Well, there's not. I think Hbar is actually carbon negative, but hey, my NFTs are on Algorand. Check them out. Anyway, we have to have a laugh a couple of episodes. I like to have a good time. Now we have a little bit of XRP news. There was this news here on allbridge.medium.com. Allbridge adds support for XRP Ledger. Allbridge, a cross-chain bridge with more than $500 million in total value locked, is integrating the XRP-L as its 12th blockchain, allowing for the seamless transfer of its native digital asset XRP across Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Terra, Polygon, Phantom, Binance Smart Chain, Cello, Aurora, Harmony, and Heco. The integration will also bring assets such as AVAX, Sol, Luna, Matic, as well as USDT, USDC, and UST stablecoins directly to the XRP ledger, leveraging its built-in decentralized exchange. Allbridge is a simple, modern, and reliable way to transfer assets between different networks. To date, over 4.8 billion in transactions have been processed using the cross-chain bridge. XRP's future is extremely bright. They just did a buyback, and the worth of that buyback, just at the stage where it is now, with an SEC lawsuit going on, is mind-blowing, in my humble opinion. Ripple is setting XRP up to have an extremely bright future. You see all the deals they're doing with banks. You see how they're expanding corridors. Also, they're putting out a lot of use cases. You see what they're doing in Palau with the digital wallets. So digital wallets have very deep implications when it comes to government employees utilizing particular digital wallets, and you ingraining yourself within countries via infrastructure. Digital wallets is a part of that. Payroll can be rolled out on XRP. I mean, there's so many different things that Ripple is bringing to the table, and different entities building on XRP are doing that are going to ensure, I believe, in my humble opinion, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but does ensure that XRP's price is gonna take off. You're gonna see an insane parabolic run. And I think that holders of XRP Of course, I believe that you're going to see a massive sell-off at $8 to $10, and it might even happen a little bit earlier, just because there's people that hold a ton of coins at XRP. It's not going to take a lot for people to become very, very wealthy with XRP at this particular time, because they've been accumulating for so long. I know some of them personally, been accumulating for so long. It's the same thing with XLM. It's not going to take a lot for people to become wealthy with XLM, in my humble opinion, as long as everything continues to go according to plan. Vechain, the same thing. These communities, these blockchain communities have had people accumulating coins for such a long time, and they got in early. A lot of them got in early. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people sold their stuff, but there is an equal amount of people that have been holding and accumulating for a long time. They put it away on their cold wallet, air gapped, hopefully. Protect your crypto and don't leave it on those exchanges. Be very, very careful. But yes, circling back around, XRP is going to explode at some point. This is what I'm seeing, how they've set themselves up. And yes, on-demand liquidity cannot be denied. It can't. Right now, it is the best possible option. Nobody wants to pre-fund accounts. They don't. The banks don't want that, don't want to be a part of that system anymore. I don't know how you wouldn't see that, being that the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF, European Central Bank, the World Bank, do we have to keep saying banks, right? We only need them. They are the supervisory bodies, and they are pushing for the new system, which tells you what? They're not satisfied with the old system, because they know that there's a lot of power on the table to grab, and that there's a lot of money out there to grab, that they can negate expenses, negate costs. There's so many benefits. Nobody really wants to be a part of that old system. The problem is that the legacy system, the intermediaries have so much money and so much power, so many connections. It's going to be difficult to shake them. And that's what we're in the process of right now, is shaking the legacy system, convincing them to integrate, convincing them that, hey, we're not here to take over, when we're really taking over. Honestly, that's really what I see. We're taking over. We're going to dominate. We are the new financial system. But giving them a chance to acquiesce and say, hey, let's integrate. But if they don't integrate, it's over for them. But that they are the only ones, the intermediaries, those legacy system intermediaries are the only ones that want things to remain the same. And while everyone else loses, they win. And that's the battle right now. XRP is going to go ballistic when it's time, when the time is right. But yes, it's going to take patience, because there is a war going on. You saw Brad Garlinghouse flat out tell you the SEC declared war on Ripple. And it wasn't just Ripple. It was the entirety of crypto, honestly. You see how it put a pause on all the other banking coins who had to become concerned because of this particular lawsuit? Okay, so it was a war declared on the entirety of the banking coins, in my humble opinion. But when we have regulatory clarity, and yes, it's going to take patience. This is not the sector of crypto for the impatient. If you're impatient, you have a lot of meme coins that people are pushing all the time. You have a lot of non-banking coins that do okay, to bring some pretty okay returns. But when it comes to the banking coins, these are going to take patience, and it's worth every second of it. If you understand the return on investment that can come from XRP, Hbar, XLM, Cello, and you hear some of the most brilliant minds in the crypto sphere all shouting the same thing, right? So there is a lot of wisdom behind these thoughts that these coins have all the potential in the world. But just keep in mind, it doesn't matter to me. I have to say this, and so many people come in the comment section every video. It doesn't matter to myself if you buy or sell. I'm waiting on the banks, because the only way we're getting parabolic runs out of these banking coins is from mass adoption by large business institutions and banks, possibly a few governments. That's the only way, not from retail. So it doesn't matter to me if you buy or sell. All right, let's go on. Let's continue on here. So we have a posting here on the fasterpaymentscouncil.org, and it reads as such. U.S. Faster Payments Council publishes new resources and knowledge center. Let's just read this little blurb here. Coupled with interoperable directory services, faster payments can play an integral role in providing U.S. businesses and consumers with more efficient and secure transactions. That sounds very interesting, doesn't it? Said Peter Taplin, Managing Director of PTAP Advisory LLC and FPC Directory Models Work Group Chair. Quote, our work group is pleased to present this new resource to help build awareness of the many ways that interoperable directories could bolster the capabilities of faster payment systems, deliver economic benefits, and advance adoption. The FPC also recently added an interactive solutions providers catalog to its knowledge center. So this is all very good. So now you have a knowledge center you can go to, or anyone can go to, or a business institution that is governmentally backed. And so they're going to provide the utmost of clarification and can be trusted. That's why that's important. This is very, very good. And they're here pushing interoperability. That's also very good for the banking coins across the board. This sounds very, very good. Let's continue on here. The catalog details several of the faster payment solutions, products, and services currently offered by FPC members. Users can source solutions by organization type, network, financial institution, bankers, bank / credit union. I might actually use this. I might have to look into this a little bit and see what information they're providing. There might be some interesting stuff here, especially if they're able to sort things like this, how they're actually detailing it here, because a lot of the banks, large business institutions, I love them. I love the money that they're going to bring me through the banking coins, but their websites and the searchability of those websites, the sorting of particular information into categories is terrible. But here, this will be great to have this particular resource be able to provide you with information so easily, if it's as easily provided as they're saying here and easily searchable as they're iterating here. Okay, so let's continue on. It says, and there are plans to include profiles of additional solution providers in the future. That's also very good. So maybe they're throwing in NBFIs, non-banking financial institutions. Maybe you get a Stellar Foundation in there, Hedera, Algorand Foundation, Ripple. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on this. We'll go peruse. We'll do some research, and we'll see how this works out. But this is a very, very good development from the Faster Payment Council. FPC's Education and Awareness Work Group created the Knowledge Center to provide the industry at large with the resources and educational materials. Have I not been saying for the longest time that large business institutions and government institutions, that the employees there, the workers there, the people there, the heads, the presidents, CEOs they lack education on the new technologies, on the blockchains, on Hashgraph. They lack the education, and so they must be educated. There's an education curve that comes along with setting up this new financial system, setting up the infrastructure. I've been saying that in so many videos as of late, have I not? And then you have here, the Faster Payment Council is now providing a possible addition to remedy that with their educational materials they're going to be providing. This is very important, and this is very good. It shows that things do have the propensity to be moving into a positive direction. Very, very good progress. I'm happy to hear this and see this right here. Excellent development. So Ark Invest, they had a live stream the other day, hosted by Kathy Wood. It was their Big Ideas 2022, and it was very interesting. By the way, I believe I posted a link in the community tab on my YouTube channel's page. And so now they put out a PDF. This PDF is 132 pages. It's quite hefty, but it is filled with a very, very good information. I encourage everybody to go and download this and give it a read. Of course, you do have to sign up, so you have to provide some information, and then you're able to download it after that. But there's an interesting little section at the beginning. It's page 3. I just want to read this little piece because I agree with it in a myriad of ways. Here we go. Big Ideas 2022, Change and Convergence. Change appears to happen slowly and then all at once. Sounds a lot like flipping the switch, doesn't it? Sounds a lot like what Brad Garlinghouse was saying with on-demand liquidity, which also would apply to instant liquidity with Stellar and all other versions of accessible immediate liquidity from Hedera, Algorand, so we can extrapolate to those particular things, right? But change appears to happen slowly, like mass adoption with the banking coins is happening very slowly. It seems that way, right? And then all of a sudden, things start taking off. That's usually how it happens. Now, if you read a lot of history, and you read a lot of science, I have heard multiple times that change doesn't often happen slowly, it often happens meteorically. It happens, boom, just like that. So yes, while things seem to be moving slowly now, change oftentimes happens in an instant. That sounds a lot like flipping the switch. I agree with this 100%. That first sentence alone is powerful, in my humble opinion. Change appears to happen slowly and then all at once. Over time, innovation should displace industry incumbents. Have I not been saying that we are part of the new financial system and we are taking over the legacy system, who is now in its sort of death throes and has to decide whether it wants to integrate with the new financial system or be dominated by it? Does it want to share in the bounty that is to come or be cut out completely? And there's a lot of fear involved in that. But yes, we are displacing the old legacy system, antiquated system of the financial sector of the world. But let's continue on here. Over time, innovation should displace industry incumbents, increase efficiencies, that's the banking coin as a whole, and gain majority market share. Listen to that. And gain majority market share. Keep in mind, these are some of the most brilliant minds in the industry saying this, who put together this document, okay? With the right understanding of disruptive innovation and long-term time horizon, we believe investors will capture exponential growth opportunities which deserve a strategic allocation in their portfolios. So I agree with that as well, and I'm going to extrapolate a little bit. You and I are the most strategic investors in the entire crypto sphere, and we have the most foresight based upon the research that we have done, and we've done a lot of research, have we not? We've done a lot of research, and looking at future catalysts, looking at conditions which come before causes, the causes that arose out of particular conditions, and the effects that are born from those causes. Conditions, cause, and effect. This is the technique we've been using and backing it up with research. So yes, let's continue on here. For this reason, Ark focuses on opportunities likely to scale as technologies converge. Once again, this applies to the banking coins. The value of those particular coins can hit a parabolic rate of growth once mass adoption happens. That only happens as the technologies are integrated within systems or absorbed into those particular systems, or they're swapped out to be used in a dominant means in place of the legacy systems. But when that happens, yes, you're going to see, as they put it, opportunities likely to scale. Likely to scale. There's no guarantees. That's what that means. So here they actually sound a lot like what I try to convey on this channel quite often. So this is a very, very good document. It's very powerful. I suggest giving it a read. This information is very good for having increased foresight of what is to come in the future and how a lot of the individuals who are doing very well in long-term investments think. So you had a very high official in the Ukraine banking system, the National Bank of Ukraine, make a speech, and they released the PDF of that particular speech. And there's a little blurb here that's very interesting and gives a lot of excitement over what is to happen in the future if things play out this way, with Stellar being a linchpin of the financial system over there in the Ukraine, from rolling out payroll on Stellar over there to their national digital currency, CBDC, central bank digital currency. I mean, they're trying to use Stellar in a lot of different ways in the Ukraine. So this is very good information to have. I like to keep up with what's going on in the Ukraine. So let's just read a little piece of this here. In 2023 to 2024, real GDP growth will accelerate to about 4% per year. This will be due to the following factors. Geopolitical conditions will stabilize during 2022. That's a pretty bold statement. There must be something that these individuals know behind the scenes in order to declare something so boldly. Keep in mind that a high-level individual such as Kyrilo Shevchenko would not say this if they didn't have something to back this up. But let's read that bullet point one more time, and that should bring some solace, some tranquility to people who might be a little bit worried about the situation with Stellar in the Ukraine, okay? Because Ukraine has been said to have certain issues going on with other countries right now. But listen to this bullet point one more time. Geopolitical conditions will stabilize during 2022. Next bullet point, the negative impact of the redacted will fade completely. It's another very, very bold statement in my humble opinion, but I hope that it does go that way. Next bullet point, the global economy will continue to grow. Next bullet point, and the terms of trade will remain rather favorable. So this is a very bullish, a very positive outlook on growth in 2023 and 2024 in the Ukraine. This is only a 3-page PDF document. Once again, I believe that I posted it in the members only section of the communities tab on the homepage. So go ahead and check that out. Give it a read. This is very, very good. Try to keep up. If you're holding XLM, I would suggest, I can't tell you what to do, but I would suggest trying to keep up with what's going on in Ukraine. And any catalysts that are going to come out of there. I imagine that, yes, you're going to see a spike in price of XLM once it's being utilized over there in Ukraine. So I try to keep an eye on that. Of course, we have a lot of things lined up with IBM, Tala, various other entities building on Stellar, as well as activities of the Stellar Foundation that could act as catalyst in 2022, 2023. So we're going to keep an eye out and an ear open for all of these particular things. And then that gives us an idea of when we can see parabolic spikes, when we can see any type of spike, when we can see an increase on price, things of that nature. It helps you to be able to set price targets if you need to at this particular time. So all of this is very good information. I like to stay up to date with them. So then we have a PDF document from the Bank of International Settlements. It's by Eddie Yu. And it's titled Connecting the Digital Islands. Now, on page 1, there's a very interesting a few paragraphs there. Paragraphs 3, 4, and 5 is numbered, so it's easy for you to find. I also put this in the members only community section on my YouTube page. Let's read this a little bit here. It says, for example, in 2018, the HKMA facilitated the launch of eTrade Connect, which is a blockchain-based platform that aims to digitize paper-based documents and automate the trade finance process. The platform was subsequently connected to a similar platform built by the People's Bank of China to facilitate cross-boundary trade finance processes. Similar platforms have proliferated around the world, but the trade finance gulf continues to widen. According to the Asian Development Bank, about 10% of global trade suffer from the trade financing gap. This is something, like I said, that they're utilizing blockchain now to solve. You have this a little bit here. It says, to put this into perspective, the value of the gap amounted to USD $1.7 trillion in 2022, marking a 15% increase from just 2 years before. SMEs in particular accounted for an alarming 40% of rejected trade finance requests. That's ridiculous. Let me read that again. Did you just hear that? SMEs in particular accounted for an alarming 40% of rejected trade finance requests. But that's not happening with Hedera. That's not happening with Stellar. That's not happening with Algorand for sure. That's not happening with Algorand. So this is why I'm telling everyone now that the capabilities of the banking coins, because they're so advanced. Remember, a lot of them were designed by genius individuals. Hbar, genius. Algorand, genius. Keep that in mind. XRP, genius. So they would eliminate a lot. They would negate a lot of those rejected trade finance requests. They would negate a lot of them. So I see the future, even if it's not in China and it's not with China, I see the future of things like this for the banking coins being extremely bright. Okay, so then we had a little post on the Central Bank of Ireland website, centralbank.ie. And it just gives me a look into the mentality of the banks. And it seems like this is the way that it is across the board. It says the central forecast in this bulletin sees a more rapid reduction in the unemployment rate over the coming years than in previous forecasts. There will, however, likely be different paths forward across sectors depending on their experience through the pandemic, the ability to adapt or recover lost ground in light of changes in consumer and investor preferences. Technology and ways of working and supply chains will not be uniform across the economy. The economy is forecast to continue to grow strongly over the projection horizon. This is good. We want more growth, the more capital that's flowing. And also with growth, there comes comfort, right? So that if the people are able to have jobs and they're becoming more comfortable, this means that they might not hold on to their money and their cash reserves so tightly. They might be more willing to spend it, have it moving around. It can move through the banking coins, possibly. I'm looking at future, of course, not just now, but I'm looking at the future, but possibly flowing through the new financial system. They're able to invest more. So they're able to invest in crypto. Maybe they're not so scared to, take a risk with some of their money. Maybe they're more willing and comfortable to be educated on cryptocurrencies, the banking coins especially. And then we have more capital flowing. But all of this growth is good. We need it. We want it. It shows that the banks are bullish on the next few years as far as growth is concerned, as far as healing the financial sector, healing the economies around the globe. So this is very good to see. Let's read this. Finish this little piece here. The economy is forecast to continue to grow strongly over the projection horizon. Modified domestic demand is forecast to expand about 18% over 2022 to 2024. Of course, that's a conservative estimate. Could be a little bit higher than that. Of course, it could be a little bit lower than that as well, but we're going to stay positive here. And right now, what I'm seeing from all the banks is they're very, very positive on growth into the future. And that's exactly what we need when we stand to inherit a lot of that capital from the legacy system. That's why this information is very important, and understanding what they're saying about growth and how that affects capital that's going to be flowing through the economies, flowing through the banks, affects what could be the new financial system in the future. Okay, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.